Hey, everybody, and welcome to a special episode of Waffle Talk. There was a storm on Tuesday and I couldn't do the show, so I'm doing it today instead. So this is running on my channel and it's going to be hosted by the D&D channel at the same time. If you're in the chat on my channel, your comments will appear on the screen. If you're in the chat on the D&D channel, I'm watching it right now, so I can address anything that you might have on your mind. So
Yeah.
I just watched Dice Camera Action episode 112. Shauna, can you do a recap of this episode?
So the So the Waffle Crew has a little bit of downtime, and in that downtime, their patron Alcoria Stormmarrow, basically seeing the mental cracks in the party and in her investment, sends it was a psychic exorcist to visit the crew to maybe make them more stable and make them healthier and make them actually able to pay back her investment.
Mm-hmm.
The psychic exorcist Sereni Theximoff, a halfling cleric, comes in and basically has a incredibly dense therapy session with the group, who at certain times become more or less cooperative as it goes on, which needed lots of more spell saves than I initially thought was going to happen. So that went, I would say, okay. Certain things came to light. Their session came to an end, and we're basically left with the party with one therapy session go, and probably years and years left to go. And that's where we ended. It was a good special episode when Chris basically just sat there and took lots of notes.
Mm-hmm. Smiled at himself, and yeah.
At the end, the doctor was pretty sure that the group was all possessed by demons.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody but Evelyn, I think. Yeah.
Oh,
yes, the soul grubs apparently are still there.
Oh, that's what that is. The soul grubs.
I thought for sure since Paulton got disintegrated that might not be there, but apparently they're still with them.
So that's for people who might not know, a while back when the group had the death curse, they made a deal with those hags, the Sohn sisters, who stuck giant demon larvae in their bodies. So that way, if the characters died, their soul wouldn't get taken. That larvae, the soul larvae, would get taken instead. And so they're still there.
They're still there, I guess.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
So that's what that is.
Apparently.
It sounds like.
Apparently, it was not worth bringing up to them.
Yeah, she just left. Paulton tried to get her to talk about it, but she was just like, nope, no. Okay, see ya.
Hard.
You think the exorcist would at least try.
Psychic exorcist. Yeah, that is the psychic exorcist. Exorcise the inner demon, or goat, whatever the hell that is. Full grub.
I mean, what are the effects? I don't like. All right, so they have demon soul larvae still in them.
Mm-hmm.
What is?
I don't know.
I don't know. They've always acted like this, so they're not necessarily acting different. Maybe it's just added stress of having an evil soul still in you.
Is it a thing where the evil is slowly seeping into them? Is that possible?
That's what I was thinking.
Oh yeah.
It could be something like that.
Mm-hmm. We've seen no examples of that at all, right?
No, not really.
Nothing at all, right?
Nothing.
The only thing demon or devil related, well, they went to see Asmodeus.
Well, besides that,
was that flesh book, right? That they got from Vincent Trench's place, but then the imps stole back and took off. The imps
stole it,
and that was it. They didn't give chase or anything like that. So, it's weird. It's like, okay, so is there any effect or any downside to it other than if they die, they don't die? I don't even know if that's still the case.
That didn't seem to happen.
That didn't seem
Poor
to
Paul.
work.
That seemed to work.
So the hags might have just like been bullshitting them
Hmm.
for all we know.
I mean, that was a Shemeska ordained like
That's true.
thing. So
True.
who
Well,
knows?
wait, has anybody died since then?
Paulton has.
Yeah,
Oh, when he was disintegrated?
Hmm.
yeah.
Oh, and
Besides
Evelyn.
him, I don't think.
No, I think Strix and Dieth. Strix and Dieth have been
Yeah,
okay.
because Evelyn was a construct, so
Hmm.
she doesn't have one. But
Those are also those bad dreams that they talked about in
it's
the beginning.
true. It's
Huh.
true.
So what? I wonder what. That's weird. That's like so out of
I know.
right out of
'Cause-
left field.
I like that because that stuff has been kind of on the back burner. We kind of forgot about some of the stuff that happened in the third season.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that come back.
Strix also brought up the hag baby, which Evelyn found out for the
Oh,
first
yeah.
time was a thing,
Yes,
Uh,
Sequus came out.
and Diath's soul that Shemeshka has,
Hmm.
which everybody just kind of hasn't talked about either.
Was Strix the only one that knew about that?
I
Or
think
did she
Diath
say?
was there as
Yeah.
well, so I think he knows.
Hmm.
But
So yeah, like when the doctor asked Strix, "What
Hmm.
would you do if Dieth went on vacation?" That was her answer. Go get this piece of his soul.
Hmm.
yeah,
Which is
It's pretty crazy.
not necessarily a
oh boy,
answer to her question.
It's funny. It's like, what do you do when Dieth's not around? I
Help
go find a
Dieth.
piece of Dieth. Like, oh,
Yeah.
they're really kind of the relationship between Dieth and Strix
Hmm.
has kind of become like they're in a relationship, sort of,
Yeah.
But-
The way that
but they've never
made
declared it.
official.
Yeah.
It's like that thing where like
It's like they went around all of the, you know?
yeah. Cuz like everything that was brought up
Hmm.
between those two was like I want to make the other happy and if they're not happy, I'm not happy and they're not happy. Or stuff I'm doing is not making them happy.
Uh,
And it's
We
just
were
like
this
oh
close.
God, it's like come on, please. It's like it's gotten to the
But
point
then
where
just
kind of
saying
like
it.
I would say
the
though,
fact yeah, it was kind of get to the point where the fact that they're not saying they haven't said anything is starting to negatively affect them a lot.
Hmm.
I think that a therapy session is probably not the time, right? In front of everybody else. Like,
Yeah.
to do
Fair, yeah.
therapy, you know? Because if this is a show, like, I'm thinking, like, you know, it should be some kind of dramatic moment or whatever, you know?
Hmm.
It shouldn't just be in therapy where you know, I love you, therapist. You know, therapists tell my, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just feels a
Yeah.
little weird, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah.
They're like so tippy toeing around it. Like, I mean, like in the beginning, you know, Strix goes to hide
Hmm.
and he knows where she is
Yep.
and he talks her out and she goes out because he asked, you
Yeah.
know? And it's just like, it's now it's getting a little like, I don't know. It's just weird,
If
right?
you skip steps, yeah.
And I think part of it is also kind of like how Polton hasn't admitted his feelings to Evelyn really.
Hmm.
Yeah.
At least on Diath's part,
Mhm.
because we also learned that he's afraid of being abandoned
Yeah.
by everybody
Hmm.
since they've had so much growth.
Yeah.
Beginning.
Do you get the hint that that's not like a childhood thing necessarily that and that's happened maybe later on, like nearer to where the group kind of like came together or when he found Strix?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
And then-
seems reasonable.
There was that question that just came up like during Paul's thing where like Diaz just kind of like quietly just said like, was she nice to you?
Hmm.
And I'm like, oh, is it something?
That
Ugh.
was
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
That was weird. No, it's like Dieth and Strix are kind of like an old married couple. And they skip past the let's get
They're like, oh,
married.
yeah.
We're newly married, you know, or now
Yeah.
you're starting to get on my nerves. Now it's, you know, old people on a bench at a park. You know, that's kind of like we're all the way over there, sort of a little.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like
Feed the birds.
I mean, yeah.
kind of
Strix
like,
can say-
you got to back up, you know.
I mean,
We got to get our honeymoon, you know.
Hmm.
We got to proposal, right? Wedding, honeymoon, boom. That's
I mean, now that that's
Ooh.
not universe ending, I guess that's that's something. Before it's like there was definitely a reason not to.
then it would be Strix Bee Stinger would become Strix Woodrow.
Oh.
Oh.
So I guess maybe
Mm.
not. I don't know. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's just
Adorable.
like the way, and then they were talking about Strix doesn't sleep in Diaz's room anymore.
Hmm.
She's like,
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought that would make you happy, and I'm sitting there waiting for him to be like, I want you to sleep in my room, you know. I want you to leave, right? But he doesn't say that.
Yeah.
He does
No.
not say that.
I think
I expected him to, but no.
no. I mean, I expect him because it's like I think, is the sort that will put their happiness before his, and the
Oh,
fact that she's being as independent, I think, as much as it like personally hurt, he's very like he wants to support her in that way.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like he said, he's proud of all the growth they've had, but he's like personally scared of
Mhm.
like them not needing him anymore.
Yeah.
To be that leader for them,
I
which
think
I get.
part of
I-
it is he feels physically weaker than them now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's always been physically weaker than them. Yes.
But I mean,
Yeah.
No, but yeah,
like
I
in
get it.
combat, like Strix drops a fireball.
Yeah.
Paulton has a lot of good spells now. Evelyn is, like a tank. But if he does a sneak attack, he does a lot of damage.
Mhm. I
It's
mean,
true.
It's not like
The-
he's useless.
the rest of them don't inspire the teamwork as much as he does. I mean, his ideas may not be great, but he at least,
It's
he
true.
tries. He does what needs to be done, and
their
sometimes you don't need the power for that.
their combats are like so like just chaotic and scattered
Mhm.
that it's rare for him to get an ally adjacent to a target that he can, you know what I mean? Because they're
Mhm.
always all split up and someone's getting choked to death. It's never. I like
Yeah.
it like that, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's hard for him to get
Hmm.
his good stuff in. I guess I don't know. I'm sure he's got other ability. What is he, like 11th level now? He's probably got some
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, he's a level up, but he has I mean, rogues do have that thing where like skills become like he has the reliable stuff, so or that the new that unearthed arcana feat. So I mean, he doesn't maybe have the attacks, but like when it comes to knowing things or like, investigate, he can do, I think, better than most of them can.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
And
go
I
ahead.
think Shauna, your mention of him being like much better at getting them together as a team is that's a very good point as well. Very, very good point. Because Evelyn, ever since the Vincent Trench thing, especially,
Mhm.
I've noticed that she has a tendency to just, I'm gonna go fight whatever and ladle
Yeah.
standard,
Mhm.
She does her own thing. Paulton does his own thing, obviously, always. He did it in this episode where he just stayed at the bar
Yeah.
the whole time. And Strix tries,
Strix
but
tries.
she also tends to end up going her own way as well.
The panic of
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
So Diaz definitely is, I think, the most team oriented of them.
Yeah. Generally in a combat, Strix panics. Paulton sits out.
Paulton
Yeah.
sits
Do
out
anything.
except for
He does that a
he's been
lot.
better about that. Yeah, like
Yeah. Evelyn is up for something, but sometimes
Evelyn
it'll
will
be over.
attack
Yeah.
anything, like doesn't matter what it is, a god,
Oh, yeah.
And then
hit Roxasha, whatever.
Diaz is kind of scrambling to keep everything from falling apart.
Well,
Usually
he's like
in a combat.
he's the one that's like looking out at the situation, even though he can't necessarily control it. He's trying to keep, keeps an eye on everybody. He's the one that notices when things are happening to the others more often than anyone else.
Mm,
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like now it is at a point now where the spellcasters are so powerful and useful
Hmm.
that he might feel like, and now that Strix is less freaked
Yeah.
out than she used to be,
Yeah.
she's still very panicky though.
Well,
Yes, I mean that some of that stuff isn't like the Aspen. Some of that stuff is just like, yeah, just running out of living in Sigil and like, you know, kind of fending for yourself in the Feywild for a while and living with the Baba Yaga. So
Uh-huh.
can't get rid of all that from like shifting families.
yeah.
And so, what was it at the end of the show?
Hmm.
She reported to a mind flayer, the doctor.
That was her assistant, I believe,
I think so. Yeah.
and she just like had another appointment in her sanctum, which is maybe not what I'd call the psychologist room. Maybe I don't know.
Right. The sanctum part was weird.
I'm like, oh, okay, it's not off. It's sanctum. Like,
The sanctum.
oh, okay.
The mind
Okay.
flayer works for her.
That is
That's what
maybe
it
the
sounds
assistant
like.
that's been like sending stuff to her.
Oh, hey,
Deciding
Kika.
when her appointment. Eh,
Kika is gonna be. Well, I don't know. I don't want to embarrass. Kika's gonna be on Dice Camera Action on Tuesday, and
That's right.
Yeah.
you know,
It's kind of a big
just
deal.
saying, kind of a big deal.
Yes, it should be exciting
We know our friend.
next week.
She was on My Secrets of Castle Greyhawk this morning, so
It's true.
we got a little inside scoop. But I probably shouldn't say. Oh, Kika says she's scared. You're gonna be awesome. Although on the show at the end they did say that each of the players is going to come up with a test, as in kind of like a, oh, so you want to date Strix kind of a thing. Like you want to,
Yeah.
you want to join the coven, right?
You got to go in the coven, yeah.
And so one of the three heroes is going to test your character, Kika. So
Yep. Hope
be
you
ready.
get, someone
Gonna be
not Paulton.
Paulton's one is gonna be
I think Paulton's test would involve
God.
booze, right?
maybe. Who
Probably.
knows? It's Paulton, so you
Evelyn's
never
would
quite know.
Evelyn's would involve Lathander,
Doing
probably.
good, probably. And
That's fair.
Dieth's, I don't. Oh, well, Dieth would be different because he's very protective of Strix, so that would be a different kind of a test, I would guess.
yeah.
Mm.
Kiki says, that's why I'm scared. My character's very sad and looks like a ghost. They're gonna hate her.
Oh no. Oh.
Like, even if I get Evelyn's test, that would go so bad. Well,
We'll see. Have fun.
Being a Shatter Kai, that makes sense.
you know, Strix is a very evil-looking character,
Mm-hmm.
and Evelyn has accepted Strix 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
So Evelyn might make some like awkward comments, I think, but you know,
Yeah.
I don't think she would
She's a sweetheart.
judge you based on your, she would definitely.
You're not a
give you
demon.
fair- You're not a demon. You're a Shatter Kai, I think, right?
So that's
So, although they, you know what? Actually,
The only Shatter Kai they've met are
the ones that like to cut people's faces off, I forgot
Yeah, I
about
mean-
that. So, actually, that might be a problem.
Oh no.
oh well.
They might think you're one of the people who might have the Ring of Winter. So,
I was gonna say.
yeah, you're. Make sure that you don't have like a satchel full of faces when you show up. Otherwise, you're
What-
gonna have like a huge problem.
Or
Wow.
do and just see what happens.
Or do, yeah.
A
I
good
mean,
scare.
You know
what
what?
could go wrong?
You know what though? They did bring up the Ring of Winter last episode.
Yes.
They did.
As in, we
Okay.
might go looking for it again. And
It's back
Kika's
burning.
character might be from the Shadowfell, might be able to help them track it down.
Maybe.
So that might be a
Yeah.
thing. That might work out really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Diaz test dodge all these knives.
That's an easy test.
Yeah, no. Diaz always rolls low. Jared always rolls low throwing the daggers. So if that's the case, you're gonna be fine.
Don't have to move.
Or just teach him how to throw better.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's gonna be awesome. That's this coming Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exciting.
I haven't read anything. I actually followed the other people who are going to
Mhm.
be in the coven on Twitter. They haven't really, as far as I know, they haven't really posted much. So, but
We'll see.
it's going to be awesome.
Move forward.
Can't wait. Yes. Well, we were talking about the mind flayers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So wait, is she a thrall of the mind flayers, or is she just
I-
working with the mind
I
flayers?
don't think she is. I think she's just working for it.
Hmm.
I mean, or she it's working for her, I think, still.
That's what it sounds like.
It
Which
sounds like she might be more powerful than she
yeah.
lets on.
Or
Oh, sh-
even if she's even really a halfling.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because like I noticed like if you want to be if you want stuff to go under the radar as a character, be a halfling because people are like, oh, it's this cute thing. It's not gonna hurt me.
Mhm.
Well,
And then
when
it's
she
like-
came in,
Yeah.
Paulton was like, "How many kids are we gonna have in our
Yeah.
house?"
I mean, there's just something I noticed that like people just like kind of give the halfling the benefit of the doubt. It's like, oh, they always like they're so chipper or like happy. It's like you never know.
I'll stab you in your sleep.
Also, it's like I have a hard time thinking that I'm starting to think that like Alcoria might not be on the level a little bit too. They're their
Yeah.
benefactor.
Yes.
I thought that for a little while.
I
Yeah.
still think
She's a
like
little shitty.
That's been
a
weird.
lot like investing money, keeping an eye on powerful people isn't the biggest sacrifice, like especially for someone powerful.
Hmm.
Like therapy session for like adventurers,
Yeah.
like especially people with the amount of like enemies is really dangerous. And
Yeah.
some of the stuff that they just like flat out said during the session were probably things they probably should have kept a little secret.
Kika
Yeah.
says, halfling or gnome, people don't pay attention to them. Very
No.
That's true. She showed up in a very harmless form, a non-threatening form.
Like
a
Miss
halfling,
Frizzle.
a halfling
She said.
therapist, with a book with herself. On the cover, it's her holding up, a dove is flying away. That was the
I mean,
her books, I believe.
who knows?
So
Yeah.
Alcoria Stone Marrow has been weird
Mhm.
from the start, right?
It's just it's a lot of charity basically for a group that hasn't had it for a while. It's just it's always kind of suspicious when that stuff just kind of happens, especially with them. Good things.
Hmm.
Kika says, now they know that Evelyn has a family, they can be kidnapped now.
So so what was said in that session that wasn't?
Well, that's the thing is the Kiros didn't reveal that much, right? There was
That's true.
Paulton talked about his dead wife. Dieth refused to talk about his family, although he did reveal. The biggest revelation, if you're an outside party looking for weaknesses, it's just that the group doesn't like being split apart, and they're all worried. They don't want to be separated, and they're worried that they're going to lose each other.
Yeah.
So you're right. Kidnapping one would be a big thing.
Yeah, like it's also the fact that if someone really wants to know who they've messed with, they basically said who they've like dealt with. Like they said Semeshka, Strahd.
Yeah, that's
all
true.
these people bring a ring.
True. Paulton's whole little thing, yeah. He mentioned Strahd. He mentioned the ring.
Dieth's soul.
Dear Lord.
Thing.
Oh, they're not hosting tonight. They've been having problems with the hosting. I don't know. A lot of weeks it's like I would run a rerun and it would like shut off, and then they would run it again and it would shut off. And it's like I have no idea.
I mean, it's just the
so
way
it's possible it was running for a little while and now it is not. So
just go on.
Sorry about that, but thank you for jumping over
Thank you.
to this side. So yeah, they're very codependent.
Oh,
yes.
incredibly, yeah.
Yeah.
It's good and bad how tight they are, because they depend on each other, but they will also like get very sacrificial for each other to maybe like not a benefit, like that moment where they're in Sigil and and they basically almost came to blows, like trying to save each other from like basically turning each other in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so like, all right, so she's got a mind flayer working for her, or maybe she's just a mind flayer in disguise.
Who knows?
Maybe.
But
a lot of options.
like, okay, and so Alcoria Stone Marrow, I think she's in the actual Dragon Heist book. I don't remember. But I should probably look that up because that would probably give us all the answers we want. But mind flayers, right? They eat your brain.
Yeah.
Right.
Typically.
And Xanathar had at least one mind flayer working for him.
That mind flayer.
Yeah. Now Xanathar's wiped out. The whole organization is wiped out.
Yeah.
So maybe that mind flayer is now relocated up here, or who knows? Maybe
I think that mind flayer is dead.
Nihilor's dead. Yeah, they killed him. in the sewers with Magnus.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Magnus killed him in like one hit, didn't he? One round, just. Oh,
I mean,
Lord.
she could be anything at this point. Like who knows?
Yeah.
Um,
And
go ahead.
supposedly there are more mind flayers in Undermountain in Dungeon of the Mad Mage.
Mm.
So maybe she's connected to some like mind flayer hive down there or something. Who
Mhm.
knows?
Kika says that time they ended up messing up Chult with a bomb tidal wave because of Paulton's loot. That was a thing.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
They can't go back there ever again.
No.
It's,
The Yatepka Society would like off them immediately.
I mean, they can't. They can't go back to basically any place they've gone before. Basically, like it's still we're still.
That's fair.
It's too early to judge Waterdeep at this point. Well, we'll see. They've already exploded the house. I'm pretty sure the
They're-
homeowners association hates
Their
them.
naighbors are definitely not happy with them. You can
They're
Troll
not
Skull
happy.
Alley.
I mean, there's children everywhere yelling. There's explosions. There is an owl bear that lives in the house.
There's a talking mule who just hangs out outside.
Yeah, there's
Yeah. It's a mess.
It's true.
lady on a T-Rex just like stands in front of it.
An army of elves showed
A
up.
big hippo man
Yeah,
who explodes things. Yeah.
Smoke powder.
they would. They have to
That's-
be like on the edge of being like just like kicked out of that place. At this point.
He dropped the smoke powder, right? And he blew
Yeah.
up.
Oh, he dropped, yeah, exploded that house.
Yeah.
Although Chris said that it's been fixed, so
They're
Hey,
lucky that
I
they
mean-
haven't started a fire on their whole block. There's been a fireball and a smoke powder explosion. It's just a matter
Yeah.
of time, really, before they.
It's a matter of time, considering how much like Fireball Strix loves.
Yeah. Like if he puts that smoke powder somewhere and Strix fireballs in the wrong place, it's gonna be really, really bad.
Yeah,
Kika says she did say several times that she could read minds.
mm.
Yeah, and Chris did keep mentioning
yeah,
psionics and psychic powers.
Yeah.
And this was a halfling cleric that
Yeah.
showed up. And I don't think we ever. Oh, Savris. That's what it was.
Savris. Yes,
Yeah.
secrets.
Supposedly a cleric of Savris.
Neutral god of like mystery and secrets, right?
Mhm.
He has a temple in Port Nines Art, right?
Yep. Savris has a.
So, could it be? It could be a friendly mind flayer like the one from the C team.
I was thinking it could be
Is-
something like that. Yeah.
Is it like? Yep, it could be friendly.
I
But
mean-
it's the Waffle Crew. So
There are situations where like Ceramorphosis doesn't fully catch on and they like keep bits of their actual personality. So it could be. I don't know, man.
Yeah. You can drink a special tea called Lathan.
Oh, look at you, Sean. Wow, I didn't know that.
Well, it's
yeah.
from it's the Mind Flayer trilogy by Bruce Cornell.
Yeah.
I love that.
Bruce
thing.
Cordell. Yeah.
So she may be a Mind Flayer. They're messing up. That's true. They're messing up the sewers. They did stick a dwarf who has a Minotaur fetish down there.
Yeah.
They keep attracting violent bands of people. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
operating
Definitely.
business in a residence.
They called in a bomb threat to a church. Also true.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh,
Ricky Blum. They might also get in trouble if they start a business without
Oh,
joining
yeah.
one of the
that's
guilds.
true.
Yeah, the guilds
That's-
are aggressive. The guilds are very aggressive.
That's
Cutthroat.
true. So yeah, she's about to start a bakery /
Mhm.
tavern, and they haven't contacted any of the guilds.
That's several
Mm.
guilds.
Mm. So
That's
the
true.
what are the bakers gonna do? Will they send like a big cake? I mean, what
Like, what?
Make her not sell.
what are they
Not
have
s-
baker assassins or something? Like what?
I mean, you saw the streets, or what was it? The people that clean the streets. They locked them
Mm.
into a building.
That's
Do not mess with the
true.
guilds.
That's true.
So it wouldn't
mean-
it wouldn't be like a monster kind of thing. It would be
Mm-mm.
more of a social.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or they could just
trickery.
say like, she like they just don't pass like
Health inspection
cleanliness, healthiness.
Stuff.
Like
Yeah.
look, it's like
They-
just look at her. Do you think she bakes clean pies? No.
Don't
Health
go
hazard.
there.
Don't.
You insane?
Yeah.
Really, all they have to do is point out that the head chef turns into cranium rats on a
Oh
regular
yeah. Oh
basis.
no, the rats.
They have a
That
rat
turned a
problem.
lot of people off. It's true.
It's-
Oh no.
like just go all like Chef Gordon Ramsay on him. The kitchen is not clean. It's not clean.
The kitchen's not
You'll
clean.
kill somebody.
Yeah, you're going He will kill somebody.
Someone's been. I mean, that is a legit question for that house.
Hmm.
Sage of Sorcery says, Sean, is there any hope for for Paul Tippo?
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Don't you still see such incredible romance there? Do you mean Warrington Munt and Paulton? He does call
What
him.
was his name? What was his name for Paulton? What was Warrington's name for Paulton?
Was it Ding
Pippin.
Dong? Oh,
Pippin. Yeah.
Okay,
Pippin.
he's not Ding Dong. All right.
Ding dongs. Yeah.
No, ding dongs. Ding dongs.
A Paulton Warrington Munt romance. No,
Oh.
Magical.
I think we're kind of at a point where it's like Paulton and Evelyn.
They're both groups are like in a weird holding pattern. Like no one just wants to
There's
say.
shared affection there, I think.
Yeah.
And it's semi-known at this point, although
Yeah.
Evelyn is
It's
kind of
semi-known. Yeah. Like
playing dumb, or well, maybe not playing dumb. She's been convinced that he's not interested, right? But the last bunch of episodes, he's been fairly open about. I mean, when she turned to stone and fell apart, he
yeah.
flipped
Well, that-
out.
I mean,
Flipped
yeah. But seeing Evelyn die twice in relatively basically like 6 months. That's
Nope.
hard.
Yeah.
I just want I on the internet, I've seen a lot of Rule 34 kind of art.
Yeah.
I don't think I have ever seen a hippo man, so I don't know.
Why you conjured it? Sean?
I'm
I
just
haven't
saying.
looked.
Conjure
I'm
this.
just saying.
I mean, it
So,
exists.
there
It
might
has to
be.
exist at this point. Like
many things are possible, but I have never seen
you are
a
not.
hippo man and Paulton
Oh, and Paulton. Okay, there we go. That's a.
together. I mean, I just
Okay.
Oh,
That
you're
that might be a harder
Okay, that's
thing.
a harder. Yeah.
don't, it could
Yeah.
happen, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Paulton might
find
find it attractive in a fourth wall breaking kind of way. I love an NPC.
He hates all NPCs.
what
Does
I
he
mean?
like Warrington Munt, or is Warrington Munt part of the NPCs that he does not like?
Warrington Munt is like, it's a little frustrating for me because I'm such a big fan of Warrington Munt. The group
Mhm.
seems to like him, but they don't interact with him that much. And it's always like, for me, it's like when Warrington Munt shows up, it's always like a fist pumping moment for me,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I never get, you never get 100%, you don't get like 20 minutes of Warrington Munt. It's like a cameo or something,
Yeah.
It's-
Chris loves that voice so much. Like,
Right, it's a
he
good
loves that
voice. And it's like an Avengers movie where Ant-Man shows up, It's like, oh, or when Spider-Man, like in Civil War, it's like, it's like, it's Warrington Munt, and then he does something cool, but then he's gone. And then they don't mention him the next week.
It's better because like he's not dead, so
That's
he shows up
true.
again.
But
That is true. Chris could have just said he was dead
Yeah.
last week. He was holding a barrel of smoke powder. He freaking dropped it at his feet.
then he's alive
Blew up,
still.
and he's
so,
alive.
Dang.
He's freaking
I mean, this is-
alive.
This is probably not the first smoke part explosion Warrington Munt's been through. So
That's a good point.
You know what?
Good point.
Strix should bake like a hippo cake.
oh
Like with a hippo head on it. That'd be,
That'd be
get well
adorable.
soon,
oh
Warrington Munt, or
Oh.
like a gun cake, like a
Yeah.
musket or something.
mhm.
Hmm.
Is it too much to ask to get a few minutes of Warrington Munt every week? I don't think it is.
I love it.
Or daily
I love Warrington
dose.
We just
Yeah.
just bring him along. Where are you going?
Munt. Mhm.
Bring him along. What's the
Of
big
course.
deal? Let him start shooting people and stuff. It's awesome.
Mhm.
Don't deny that hippo love. I'm not going to deny it. I think we're all very skeptical that that's just ever going to happen. I don't think the world is ready for that. Wait until it explodes like smoke powder. But could Paul Tippo be what makes? Oh, okay. Now you're talking. But could
Uh-oh.
Paul Tippo be what makes Evelyn jealous enough to finally demand some open affection? This could be the first hippo romance in role-playing games.
That is
Paulton got
definitely
jealous.
not. I am definitely not. That is not the first one.
It's not.
It is. I'm guessing it's probably not.
Hey,
That's fair.
if anybody has, let me know. Give
Yeah.
us details.
If you've played in a Spelljammer game and made
Yeah.
sweet love
I
to
mean-
a GIF,
If you-
let us know.
Yeah, give us don't spare the details.
Every detail.
Oh,
he
no.
wrote fanfic
Oh,
about
my-
it, you know?
Oh
You
my
know?
god.
You wake up
Oh,
the next
no.
day wearing his Paultons or whatever those things are.
His epaulets.
Yeah,
That's nice.
The
That's
monocle.
Oh no.
It happens. The thing about the jealousy thing was, it was when Mei Loon
Mhm.
was hitting on Evelyn, and that's when
Yeah.
Paulton like ding.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That seems to be kind of where it started.
I
But
think it was between Maloon being attracted to Evelyn and Evelyn being attracted back. I think
Yeah.
that's what really bothered Paulton about that.
Mhm.
mm,
I mean, I think Evelyn's at the point now where like it's maybe taken backseat to like maybe helping Paulton now that she's found out all about this his like wife and stuff like that and what happened. I think she's focusing on that right now.
mhm. Kika says the true love would have been between Paulton and Xanathar.
Too similar.
I mean, they
It would never have worked between
break the
them.
fourth wall together.
That's true. They did have that in common. But Xanathar liked Evelyn.
It's true.
Sort
Yeah.
of. Although
In a creepy way, yeah.
in the
In the
end,
creepy
did he
way that
really?
dwarves do.
Yeah, but remember Xanathar really liked her, but then he turned on her very quickly.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
At the end, he turned her to
He
stone. He did
only
not care.
loves his fish. Number one true love.
Yeah. His fish himself. All right.
Jeez. Really walking the razor's edge today here with the
Just good. Well, just
Oh my god.
Sage of Sorcery. I just love Warrington. We wanted him to come out during therapy. He should have come out during therapy. You're right. I think Warrington should direct the next. That would be awesome if
the
Warrington
most
directed
healthy of them.
the next therapy session. That would be great. I would love, yeah, just anything Warrington. Why not put him in there, man? We start a petition or something.
Does he live in the house now, or is he just kind of like wandering through
I
Waterdeep?
think so, yeah.
Yeah.
He keeps his smoke powder there anyway. So
Mhm.
Terrible idea.
it is a terrible
I
idea.
mean, you know what? Whatever.
The house has gotten blown up like 3 times already.
It's fine.
Yeah.
The house is a totally different house at this point. There's nothing left.
And, you know, you have all these. If you're starting a bakery and a tavern, you're gonna have barrels of alcohol. You're gonna get your smoke powder mixed up with your.
Oh my
and
god.
Stuff's gonna blow up. It's gonna be bad. You know.
Ooh.
Mm.
Don't try cooking with the smoke powder.
Kika says make a gun-shaped cake and hide a gun inside it. Clever. That's
It's like-
that would be his perfect thing. It's tasty and it has a gun inside it.
that is an awesome idea.
It's like sending someone in prison a cake that's shaped like a file. They'll never expect there's a file in there.
like they give Warrington the cake and then stuff goes down and they'll be like, Warrington, you sure you don't want a slice of cake, you know? And then he reaches in and just he starts shooting. That would be awesome.
Mhm.
That would be awesome. Scotty, Warrington is your favorite NPC? Yes. Is Warrington the most popular NPC on the show?
Ooh. Oh,
I don't know.
I don't
Not-
know. Yeah.
Not run
We
by
need a poll.
people, but I think Warrington
need a
would be
poll.
the number one.
Warrington. I mean, of the non-Waffle Crew adjacent, or
Yeah.
'cause number one is still Waffles. Waffles is
Well, yeah.
Waffles is number one.
I
Waffles
would-
is
I would probably not count pets because I mean,
yeah.
who can resist pets? To be honest.
Yeah.
I like Warrington more than Waffles. I mean, I like Waffles, but Warrington
That's fair.
my
gives you
favorite.
more bang for your buck. You know.
Literally.
Yeah.
guess.
Scotty says there is official baby gift. Baby
There is
gift
by
on
Richard
it.
Witters. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
Uh,
Kika says Simon is my favorite NPC. It's like Simon's pretty cool.
Simon is pretty great.
Warrington has such a nice and calm voice. He'd totally make a great therapist.
I have a question for both of you. There's that brief bit when Simon's mental health came up, and
Yeah.
they were talking about like parenting someone, being like someone that had like self-harm. And what did Diaz say? Diaz said something I didn't quite catch.
Oh,
He wasn't talking about Simon.
he did.
I don't know.
I just watched the episode again.
Yeah, I
and
did too. I tried.
I didn't go back and
Like I tried to figure out what he was saying. I just don't.
No.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
That Simon thing, like
That was in dark.
It was
he
dark.
probably should have been a part of the
He
therapy.
yeah. He
Is
can. he can
Is-
write. He can
Oh.
write letters, right?
Hmm.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay,
At this
yeah.
point.
Do people like Simon better than they like Warrington? I mean, I don't.
I think
but
he's a more complex character.
it's true.
Probably. Then yeah,
He has been around a long
a
time.
long time.
A long
I
time,
think
yeah.
Long time.
probably longer than Chris expected him to be.
Or he, yeah, or just like he
Yeah.
took him away, and it's like this was
I
a
think
mistake, and brought him
Chris
back.
is so enthusiastic about Simon that
Mhm.
he likes
Yeah.
having him there.
Well, it's
So-
something. Yeah, it's not just like I think he like, but it gives Paulton
Hmm.
another like thing to deal with, and it kind of
Yeah.
reinforces that family thing. Because it's like I remember him saying that like of the things that he kind of regretted doing in the game was getting rid of Simon during Storm King's Thunder, because I think it definitely gave it was something that kind of brought Paulton out a little more with the rest of the Waffle crew, kind of give them another like angle.
Yeah.
let's see, Kika, they'll never be able to afford their insurance rates.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah, it should be going up and up. Yeah. Kika,
Hmm.
how many times have they blown up the house? Yes. Ricky Blom, smoke powder pies. Oh,
Hmm.
smoke.
Oh,
Can you do that? Can you ingest smoke powder?
I don't think it's I don't think gunpowder is good for you.
No.
Is it
Probably
like
not.
is it like pepper? Yeah.
It's like poison, I think.
Or you like bite into
Because
it.
there's like
and
sulfur and other things that you don't
explodes,
want in like
so
large.
You know, if they're making
Who
special
knows?
drinks, they could make a smoke powder
Oh,
cocktail. That's actually a cool idea. Maybe that would
maybe.
put a little smoke powder on the top, and then you like light
It's like
it.
put it around the rim or something.
Mhm.
Like salt around the rim of margarita.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Be like it would be like the Warrington Munt, or whatever.
Green fire.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
Although that might be acquisition copyrighted. Who knows?
That's true.
Trademarked. Who knows? That's something you gotta take up with Omen.
They could call a drink the Bee Stinger. That's a good name for a drink.
Oh, that might be Rosie's.
No,
I guess maybe, yeah, I guess.
Omen might have
family.
copyright over Rosie's.
Yeah, Omen might have copyright over all of the C team
they should.
Knowing his,
in
yeah,
general.
They should make a drink for each character based on each character.
that'd be awesome.
That'd be
Yeah.
pretty cool.
That'd be rad.
Although the
I mean-
evil one would probably just be like holy water.
Oh, Evelyn would be super sweet. Really
So it
awesome.
would be all-
Oh, that'd be mine.
The Paultons would just be like, just wipe you out in like one sip. It'd be like really hard.
100 proof. Whatever.
Simon. Oh, okay. Kika Simon's my favorite NPC. All right. Sage of Sorcery. Where is Chris? Is he listening to all this hippo love? I think he should be
No.
Chris's character in the party. Oh, you're talking about DMPCs. It's the.
Mhm.
It's the.
Chris
Whew,
is saying
boy,
that
I could tell. I bet we could all tell a million stories about DMPCs.
it's hard.
Running
Yeah,
an
but-
NPC, like a support NPC with the group, I think is cool.
Oh, yeah.
DMPC a lot of times ends up being a weird thing.
But those are, I mean, it's better to treat those as like, yeah, NPCs, because you don't have like.
Before you know it, it's like you're writing your novel, and the rest of
Yeah.
the players are just sitting there. You know what I mean? They gotta.
This guy's
It's a hard
Like-
thing to manage. You know.
As a DM, I find my players really like having NPCs
Mhm.
around.
Yeah.
And I, as a player, like having NPCs that
Mhm.
I can just like
Mhm.
bounce stuff off of and bullshit with and
Yeah.
just have fun,
Just-
you know?
Mhm.
Can't get super like, this is my thing.
Yeah.
Like it's like it's always the players, and like, yeah,
They
that's
tend to hang back a
Mhm.
little bit. Yeah. You know.
Kika, is Jim Dark Magic an NPC to the Waffle Crew?
he's not dead yet, so as much as Strix maybe would like him to be.
He should be a guest on the show.
Oh,
It'd be awesome.
yeah. I mean, maybe 2 out of 3.
Mm,
We've already had one Acquisitions Inc. person on there and didn't make it out, or former Acquisitions Inc.
I
didn't make it
know.
out.
Watch them. They would all show up and they would all die every single time.
I mean, Jim's died, so I mean that's not a huge thing. Jim's died before.
That's
Yeah,
true.
That would be crazy.
Also, it's funny. It would just be. I would just like it just because like Jim just makes Strix so angry,
Oh yes.
just so angry. It's like she's
It's
the
never
only,
not
like
funny.
he's the only character I think that actively makes her angry.
She
Mm.
does a good job of one-upping him, though. You know,
Oh yeah,
if they go
Mhm.
back and forth, usually she'll
Jim's.
kind of
I love the back
win
and
the
forth between them.
exchange.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
great.
It's like two children.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It is 100% like two children fighting.
He
Jim is a child.
There's been times where Jim kind of likes Strix, like romantically.
Oh
Like
my God.
yeah.
he'll throw that out there sometimes. I
It's
was like,
just Jim being Jim.
I'd like to see Patrick Rothfuss. You know,
Uh-huh.
I always get a kick out of everybody gets mad because Chris lets Patrick do
Oh, you mean
stuff.
VR having VRE on there?
Yeah, or you
Mhm.
know any, but
He's.
I
I mean,
love the Chris
Sure,
lets
Pat.
Patrick do things you're not supposed to do,
Yeah,
and then everybody
although-
gets all mad, and then Chris
although
does
it's
it even more.
only VRE. It's only
VR.
VRE because we've had
Okay.
Carrot on there and just like, nope, you're not. It's not VRE. You can't. You don't get away with this stuff.
I'd like to see Chris like run a game specifically like where there's a spot where there's no way out, but he knows Viari is there, so Viari can just like BS his way through it all.
Yeah.
And then like the players are gonna be like, "How are we supposed to get out of it?" And be like, "I didn't know Viari's here. I figured he'd be fine." You know?
I mean, VRE is the only one that's like really like treated Strix really nicely
Yeah,
of
It's
the
true.
three.
yeah, he was
It's
very
true.
nice.
Yeah.
He got her a hat. I
Yeah,
think.
that hat.
Yeah.
Um, let's see, Ricky Blum. It was also quite interesting when Diaz asked if Paulton's wife had treated him well.
Hmm.
Did Diaz's ex not treat him well, or was it just to keep Paulton talking? I don't
I think
know.
that seemed pointed, like in a
Oh, yeah.
way that
Yeah,
something dealing with like his distrust.
yeah. You mentioned that earlier too, right? That is like a weird comment that sticks out. Did she
Mhm.
treat you well? That's kind of a weird.
Because there was definitely like a tone that Jared used for that. It was like it wasn't a question of like I'm concerned, but like did she treat you okay? You know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So does that mean that like maybe Diaz used to go out with this Amy person? Did she
Maybe.
not treat Diaz well, and that's why he's asking that kind of a question?
I mean, someone, yeah, for sure, like in his fact, did not treat him well. Just the way he's so afraid of being like abandoned.
Yeah.
And Diaz was talking about how his real family abandoned him.
Yeah.
He's worried that this
Mhm.
one is too.
Hmm.
So
Or like the second or the first like surrogate, like found family also abandoned him.
Yeah. It's
Hmm.
possible.
Yeah.
Sage of Sorcery. You want to start a petition for Warrington to join the party? I might even mention Holy Rollers tonight. Yeah, if you do a petition, yeah, I would sign it. Yeah, do it, man. There should be a petition. Well, we should demand 10 minutes of Warrington Munt on every
Per
episode.
episode.
Hmm.
Regardless, if you have to go, meanwhile, back at the house, and they can play the kids interacting with Warrington Munt,
Mhm.
right? Hey,
I
let me
mean-
show you how to load a gun. There's 10 minutes. That'll be fun, right?
Sure.
Move
Yeah.
this smoke powder downstairs for me.
Hmm. Yeah.
Kika, Jim and Strix are like bratty siblings.
Mhm.
Yes. Kika, I hope Chris lets me do dumb.
Yes.
Kika, you did tell me
Yeah.
something earlier. I don't know if I should spoil it or not, but
Maybe.
something tells me you're gonna have the option to
Yeah.
do all sorts of stuff. I think, yeah, as long as you pass your test.
Mm.
Is this
True.
these tests for the Strix Coven? What happens if you fail?
I guess you don't become a member of the code.
You're not in the Coven.
I guess.
That's rough.
Yeah. Right.
What if you die during the test?
Oh no.
Well.
Well.
You can't die.
Oh.
You have a badge of honor.
Actually, you know what? They're guest NPCs, so they probably can die. And hopefully not. I'm hoping.
Hey,
no
you
one dies.
can't
I'm
do
hoping no one dies.
Kika says you get baked into a pie and
That-
served
Oh
out.
no, that's
It's served to
no,
waffles.
waffle food. No.
You can't do that.
No,
You cannot do that.
no.
Oh my
I'm
God.
in my head. I'm assuming that these tests are a formality and they're going to be members of the Coven.
I mean, 2 of the 3, if you look at them with really sad eyes, they'll find a way for you to pass. Just say if you get the just be like, oh,
Hmm.
another family abandoned me. It's like,
Oh. No.
That's good. That's really good.
Oh.
With Paulton,
Oh.
all you gotta do is slip him a drink.
Actually, Evelyn said Paulton's the one that like you could get Surly Paulton or like
That's true.
Getting
Depending on the day.
Evelyn to pass you. I
Evelyn's
guess
pretty easy. I mean, as long as you don't do any evil stuff in front of her.
Yeah.
she likes horses, right? Just like
Or
draw
stuff.
a picture of
Yeah.
a horse or something like
Oh,
that.
Yeah.
And this session, we learned that she's from Amphale, which
Yes.
is outside of Waterdeep.
hmm
And I looked it up,
Yeah.
and Amphale is actually one of the main holdings of House Mkathra,
Ah.
which is the house of the little boy that Evelyn saved in the Soulmonger, and whose family paid for the Evelyn statue in the Spires of the Morning.
Ah.
Oh,
Ooh.
dang.
So if they ever go there to like go talk to Brick or something,
Yeah. I mean,
there's definitely going to be House Mkathra stuff too, I think.
yeah. Now that it seems to be like concrete and like
Oh,
have
yeah.
something, we can definitely go there.
It kind of feels like it's brick time, doesn't it? It's time to meet
I
this
think
guy.
so.
We are getting close to evil and
Oh, yeah.
past family stuff. Definitely.
Because
I think her talking about it on the show definitely like we should do it. You know, because I think she's only ever talked about it like here or on Reddit and stuff.
hmm
I don't think she's ever talked about Brighton on
Brick-
the show.
Is it the first time like in depth that she's talked about like
Yeah.
this and like the guilt and stuff she feels like from the mother? Yeah.
Mm.
missing she's and we never really learned much about her missing a leg, right? She's
Oh,
Evelyn
Yeah.
is missing a leg, like the bottom half of one of her legs, right?
I always forget
Mhm.
about that. Yeah.
Unless that's changed because she turned to stone or something. It was I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's injury maybe that doesn't. I mean, well, missing like maybe doesn't like have that emotional pull that
Mm.
that stuff has, like the letter and being away from home does.
Brick is definitely like a guest star character, it feels like, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Trying to
Just
think
have
of
to get
someone
the right
that
person.
yeah. They've done a good job of grabbing people that I was hoping they would grab as guest
Mhm.
stars.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like I was really happy that Hideo got to be on
Yeah.
the show
Having
today.
Hadil on this episode is really good because like she's very natural with the rest of them. So it's like
Yeah.
like you kind of have that level of comfort to be able to like push and pull with them and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Hideo pretty much ran this episode
She did. Yeah.
with no problem whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty freaking
I
good.
wonder like how her and Chris like discussed the episode beforehand.
hmm
To, like
Yeah.
figure out how it was going to work, you know?
Yeah. I don't know.
Cuz he said that she had gotten like briefs, like the doctor character. So I wonder if Chris actually like sent her stuff that might have I don't know.
Yeah.
And okay, in the game terms, she
Hmm.
did. She kept mentioning those briefs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it,
Who?
where'd she get the briefs from?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like I was like trying to keep an eye of like what knowledge, like having information about certain things would illuminate who's sending briefs to.
Mm.
Like
Yeah,
trying to
like
figure out if there's information that no one, it would be suspicious for her to notice.
Like,
But I didn't really figure anything.
who's spying on them? Who compiled these documents?
I don't know, man.
I mean, there's certain someone that
Oh, that's
can watch
true.
them all the time. So
Yeah.
There's a certain someone who can watch them all the time.
Shimeska has the scrying mirror that could always.
She
Oh,
has that
that's
mirror.
crazy. That's
That's
crazy.
true.
If that's what.
And she is an
Wow.
information broker, so
Yeah, getting like new information out of them would.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's always my go-to, but like maybe one of these days it'll be true.
It has been a really long time since we've seen Shimeshka on the show.
They have her stuff. They still have her stuff.
Yeah.
And Diath.
They're so
that's true.
packed with things, you know,
They got a lot of threads.
like kind of like loose threads still hanging.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
So it's like it's almost like every episode something happens where it's like they could follow up on it and we add it to the list
Yeah.
a little
It's
bit.
like-
I was on the Dice Camera Action subreddit today.
Yeah.
Actually, I was reading a thread about that. Somebody listed all of the things that are out there that are kind of dangling.
There's a lot.
And I mean, the thread was a little bit like a complaint, but I feel like Chris runs the game. He
Mm-hmm.
dangles things in front of them, and they take the ones that they want.
Yeah.
That's I mean, right? That's D&D. Like, you
Yeah,
don't.
I mean, it's good to
Yeah.
have like different threads. So like if for some reason like they want to do, you want to mix it up, like you'd always have
Yeah.
you have the options for either like Shemasker stuff. You have like Paulton's past evil and stuff come up. The stuff with the dwarves, anything.
And like, so all those things are out there,
Mhm.
and Chris can have them resolve without the hero's involvement, and then it might come back to bite them or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just this big pile of things. But like, I like it that he doesn't force them. I think at any
Mhm.
time when they're playing, they could stop what they're doing and say, "I want to go do X," and Chris
Mhm.
will go ahead, and
All
right
right.
then they could do it. So
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's a bad thing at all. It's just the heroes are in the driver's seat, so they can handle
Hmm.
any of those things that they want to. Even at the end of a session, they could say, "Hey, next time, can we blah blah blah? I think whatever. I want to go to this
Yeah.
place and do X." I think Chris would be like, sure, yeah. Well.
Yeah.
But in general, this group is very laid back, and
Yes.
they don't take the reins that much. They
Yeah.
react to things.
Mhm.
There hasn't been a lot of time. I'd love to see one episode where something messed up happens, and they get really mad, and they stop what they're doing, and they like go somewhere, like, and they bust a door down or something. I would love to see that sometime. But
God, yeah.
in general,
Please.
they kind of like they're always kind of like
I think
Yes.
and then
yeah.
I just want to go to bed,
Like you don't want to poke stuff too much. It's like, here, have this thing.
Yeah.
I wanted this. It's like that's always the thing when you're a PC. It's like I wanna explore like this, and then it's just like you get in like,
This is a mistake.
oh no.
I
Why
just want to
did
go
I
back to the
say
house
that?
now.
I'm falling way behind. Kika says maybe Evelyn lost her leg in a riding accident.
Mm.
How would you lose your like? You fall
I mean,
off your horse?
Yeah.
crushed beyond. Like
I
it's
know.
still medieval.
In real life, yeah, stuff like that's happened. So yeah.
Even if you're a child or something like that, you could definitely.
Oh yeah, that could kill you.
Yeah, or just having like that sort of injury. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kika says that Hadil's character, Doctor, is it Thexamov?
Eximov.
Yeah.
Was so good. Like, it was a good character, but it's one. It's like, I don't know if we're ever gonna like if she's a villain. I don't know if we're ever gonna see her.
It would be cool to see that character again. I think either in capacity or just like maybe another one of these. 'Cause I think I like it. It's an interesting idea to have like adventurers go through some sort of therapy thing because they do need that. Most adventurers need that.
It's weird when the DM reveals something that the characters don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So this was an incident where at the end it's like, oh, she works with the Mind Flayer, and maybe she was gathering information to hand off to some enemy of the group.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's like very weird. It would actually be really funny to actually bring her back, and the group would have to be like, because they don't know,
Yeah.
they'd be like, hey, how are that might be really funny.
I mean, it's she has a lot of those really scary spells that would probably that group is very vulnerable to like the mental magic stuff. So those that would be hard.
Everybody but Paulton, really. I think he's the only one who like went against her and like actually succeeded his saves.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paulton made his saves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ricky Blum, the lady that is funding the bakery, also hired the therapist, so she or one of her helpers must have made the briefs.
Yeah.
It could be like there's the bad guys right there. It could be Zentarim.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Could be Jarlaxle's Brigand Darth people. Although I know Drow would not work with Mind Flayers, right? In general.
Actually, I actually watched a thing about Brigand Darth, a lore you should know segment.
Yeah.
And Chris Perkins mentioned that Brigand Darth employs a lot of people with psionics. Actually.
Oh.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. I mean, it would be a reason to like bring in one of the other 3 like antagonists from
It's true.
book.
And I mean, they let Gnarl live, and Cozen got away.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That'd be interesting. I didn't think about
Is it possible that this Stone Marrow, because Jarlaxle has a hat of disguise, right?
If
That's
it's
why-
Oh
Jarlaxle.
my god.
That's his
Oh
thing,
my
right?
God.
So this stone marrow person could be Jarl
God.
Axel.
That'd be hilarious.
Oh, all they really have to do is just someone like, oh yeah, oh that would be.
And Jarl Axel is looking for the Stone of Galore, right?
God.
Yeah.
So maybe he's keeping tabs on the group, assuming they're going to find the stone, and then he can get it from them.
God, they are. He
Or maybe when they get it, he can use this information to blackmail them
Yeah.
and
That's
hand over the
possible.
stone, or I'm going
Mhm.
to blackmail you.
the one thing about the other three is like the other three are like way more like politically savvy than the Xanathar. It seems like
Oh yeah.
like they'd be really hard to like. It's not something the Waffle is particularly good at dealing with, so it'd be interesting to see have them going against like more of these untouchable
Yeah.
figures.
Like the Xanathar, he's a beholder and he has
Mhm.
this organization, but in the end, he's a monster that you can go down.
Yeah, he's very
If
like
you're powerful enough, you can go kill.
yeah, he's brute force and not exactly the most like subtle creature.
Everybody else, yeah, they have a lot of political machinations and
Like
stuff.
yeah, Jarl Axel. There's some some high Mass Lord level nobles, and there's
Oh yeah.
the head of the Centaurum. So those are
And like an
things.
epic level archmage to boot.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right. So it is 8 o'clock. I believe Trapped in the Birdcage is about to start right
Yes.
now. So
space.
I want to thank everybody who jumped into the chat. I see we did get hosted there right at the end. So
Awesome.
thanks everybody for watching. I want to do plugs real quick. Shauna, you want to do some plugs?
Yep. Just on Saturdays, 6:30, playing Hell's Rebels on Power Square RPG on this channel that we're being hosted on, and then on what was it? Yep. On in PAX, the PAX schedule just got announced, and I am going to be on a panel at PAX 7:30 to 8:30. Historical and visual transgender representation. Awesome people: Kika Vio, Grant Ellis, Alice Robinson, Nomek. Awesome people. So that should be fun. I'm excited.
Oh yeah.
Dylan, do you have any plugs?
I do. Also on Saturday, before Hell's Rebels at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on this channel, we're doing Waterdeep Dragon Heist, and we actually just got Troll Skull Manor. So we're gonna be opening our own business and stuff. And I actually drew a logo earlier today, so I'm probably gonna send that to Sean.
Cool.
So
Awesome.
Yes. Awesome.
yeah.
All right.
And Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time on this channel, we're also going to be doing Dungeon Academy, where we're walking around Waterdeep, having montages and shopping and all sorts of fun stuff.
And
Yes.
yeah, so Saturday I'll be running games on this channel at 3 p.m. Eastern and 6:30 Eastern. Sunday Dungeon Academy's at 6:30 Eastern. Monday, if you can, check it out, 1 p.m. Eastern. Orchard on the Greyhawk channel. It's run by Pro Restarter. I'm one of the players, and Pro Restarter is really awesome. And every player in that group, I think, is just a really good. It's really good. It's Feywild horror.
So yeah,
Which is
it's good
really
seeing.
weird, but it's really cool, and I really like playing with Pro Restart. I kind of learn a lot as a DM. Like the way he does things is so different from me, and like it's really just being a player like helps so much
Oh
as
yeah.
being a DM, because
Mhm.
you get kind of in tune with what it's like to be a player. So thank you everybody so much for watching, and congratulations again to Kika, and I'm very much looking
Yeah.
forward to seeing
Yes.
you on the show as part of Strix's Coven next
Yes.
week. It's going to be awesome. All right, got to hit the button here. So let me fire up the old thingy. But yeah, and thanks to everybody on the D&D channel who checked in with us. And we will see you. Ugh. There we go.
Sean,
There you are.
There we go.
All right, everybody.